It was nearly Halloween, and the engines of the Northwestern Railway were getting into the spirit for it. One morning, the engines were at the sheds waiting for their crews to arrive.
Does anyone have a story to pass the time?
I do. I heard it from Connie yesterday about an engine who used to work on Sodor in the United States. Would you like to hear it?
Sure.
Well, it's all started many years ago. There was a greenish gray tender to work on Carnival Run. His name was Sir Malcolm, looked like Caitlin. He also had his own train called the Late Night Flyer, but it came to an end too soon. On night he was taking his train as usual, but he was sent to the wrong siding. Most of the passengers on the train were either injured or killed, but Sir Malcolm was beyond repair, so he was sent to be scrapped, but he still roams the road as a coast.
Well, that was pretty deep.
I agree.
What if we bump into him?
Ha! Don't make me laugh. That story was a load of rubbish.
I don't know, but what if it really does happen?
It could have.
James didn't knew that everything was true, but Bill and Ben weren't so sure. Later, Bill and Ben were taking some china play to Brandon Docks. They couldn't help thinking about Edwin's story.
What's wrong, you two? You look like you've seen a ghost.
It's because we heard Edwin's story about a ghost engine named Sir Malcolm, and we're not sure if it's real or not.
I see. I remember when the White Fleet came to Big City Port, and the Starfleet mistook them for the ghost tugs. There was almost a galleon that was frozen inside, and iceberg was melted in the warmer water and gave tensions and sunshine quite the spook.
What happened to the galleon after that?
After it was found out, it was sent to the breaker's yard to be cut up.
Ah, I see.
That night, Edwin was sleeping in the small shed at Knapford when suddenly he heard puffing.
Who's that?
Just then he saw an engine puffing past the shed.
It's the ghost engine from my story!
But what he didn't know that it was actually Caitlin. The next morning he told the other engines all about what he saw last night.
Last night I saw the engine from my story.
Who was it?
Sir Malcolm. I saw him while I was in that little shed.
So he is real!
I don't know, you guys. Maybe he saw another engine and mistook it for him.
And the twins puffed away. Meanwhile, Caitlin was at Crowther's Gate when Bill and Ben came puffing up.
Look! I can see it!
So can I.
But as soon as they puffed into the station, Caitlin had just left.
Bother! We were this close to catching up to him!
What is it, you two?
Sir Malcolm. The ghost from Edwin's story.
I'm pretty sure you kinda mistook her for Caitlin.
But Edwin said he was greyish colour and he looked like Caitlin.
Peter Sam was confused about this. Well, I'd like to stay and chat, but I have a train to take. That night, Bill and Ben were in the yards at Wellsworth when they saw something.
Hey, Bill, look, Sir Malcolm's ghost.
Wait, it is?
Yes!
But the twins didn't know that it was actually Connor. The next day, Thomas was at Elsbridge with James when Bill and Ben arrived. Hello, Bill and Ben. What brings you here?
Don't tell me it has something to do with that story.
It is. I think we found it.
I highly doubt that.
We're about to find out.
What was all that about? I think it has something to do with a story that Edwin had told Bill and Ben, Bertie. Soon, Bill and Ben arrived at Vickerstown Station when they saw something.
There he is!
I don't think so. Now that I think we missed the comical. Oh, never mind. It's gone.
I found the ghost!
What are you on about? I'm no ghost. I'm Connor.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I tried to tell him, but he didn't listen.
That's okay, but what was it you were on about?
It was about an engine from Edwin's story named Sir Malcolm.
I know that engine. I used to work with him on my old railroads. He was also Caitlin's brother, and he used to pull the late-night flyer after his crash. He was saved by some preservation people, and now he lives in a museum.
Oh.
Just so Caitlin puffed up. What are you doing here, you two?
We're sorry, we mistook you for Sir Malcolm.
That's okay, you might need to tell Edwin the true story.
Sure thing.
When they got back to Timber's sheds, they told Edwin the true story.
Oh, sorry, Connor, for misunderstanding it.
That's alright.
Well, that's settled. What's that you got there, driver?
Oh, it's just an old radio I found this morning. Let's see if it still works.
I like it. I say, what a dreadful wreckage. Come on, Boney. If you had a body, you could boogie.